Welcome to another episode of Chat GRC on the Blue-Lusional podcast, where Casey and myself interview a new grassroots candidate every single week leading up to the midterms. This week, we are continuing the tour of the South. Young lady, please introduce yourself and what you're running for.
Hi, guys. I'm Victoria Broderick, and I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's District 4.
Tennessee.
And
Yeah,
guess what? It's
Tennessee.
winnable now.
it is
Yes,
winnable.
it's winnable. It's winnable. And so let's just dive right in. You are not new to politics and you're not new to running. So give us a little background of last time you ran and then what made you want to run again in this cycle.
Other than lack of sanity. Yeah. So for those of you who are new, have never seen me before, I ran my first congressional campaign in 2024. That was my hard launch. My political experience started a couple years before that. We don't count when I watched West Wing when I was 5 years old, which I found it is not normal. But in 2021, I experienced a birth control fail, which led to finding out I was pregnant, and having to go through the hoops of medical care and figuring out the best plan of action for myself in the pregnancy. Unfortunately, I miscarried. And then a month later, I found out I was pregnant again. And again, had to navigate a difficult situation, a higher risk pregnancy, and just all the things that go along with that. Well, a year later, 9 months later, I gave birth to a beautiful little baby. And while on maternity leave, Roe was overturned. And I just found myself so angry. So I did the logical thing. I created a TikTok account and started yelling at people on the internet, doing some voter education called the Friendly Neighborhood Liberal. That's what you do, right? I also became a county chair of one of the, at the time, 93 counties in Tennessee, and started educating on the internet, educating in my community, basically building a county party, and working with county leaders to make it so that Democrats had better representation. And then fast forward to 2024, I found out my opponent was going to run unopposed. And I said, over my dead body and over a weekend and some liquid courage, I picked up a petition and put my name on the ballot. I ran a congressional campaign in 5 months, raising over $120,000. Working full time, having 2 tiny humans, 4 fur babies, fostering with our local humane society. And guess what? I grew the district. We didn't know that when the campaign ended and I lost, and about 15 seconds later decided I was going to run again. But when the numbers came back to us, we felt the momentum that we'd felt throughout the election cycle showed in the numbers. Now, I was a no-name candidate. We knew that had a huge role to and road to cover, and we were able to do that. So what we learned in 2024 is that my campaigning works. I'm running as a progressive in a rural district that doesn't touch any major cities. I have 15 counties, and it works because people respond to working class values. If you're listening to this and you're like, what's progressivism? It's weekends. It's 8-hour workdays. It's making sure that your taxes work for you and not for big corporations. And I'll say it here and now. I've been told by Republicans, moderates in my district, and some leftists are like, you sound like a moderate. I'm like, not. I'm not. I'm a working class mom who just is angry, fun sized, and feral, and put my name on the ballot. So here we are in 2026, running my second congressional race, doing all of this while working full time, having 2 tiny humans. I only have 3 fur babies right now. One of mine passed away. And I also have a foster kitten. So if anybody needs a kitten, I can help you out.
This is
Who, who says
I
you
don't
can't
need
have
any.
it all?
Yeah. But I
Sheesh.
mean, this we don't talk to a lot of people who have run in the past. It's few
Mhm.
and far in between. So I always love hearing about candidates that have run in the past and still feel that momentum to go forward. Like you said, while you didn't win, you still gained momentum. You still gained popularity that wasn't there before in one of those races where everyone was MAGA gung ho. And this is obviously going to be very, very different. So to already have momentum, already have had your name on a ballot before, already have raised a large amount of money for like a grassroots candidate. I can only imagine the momentum and it'd be like running through my veins. Just I want to run through a
Yeah.
brick.
You feel it. You feel it out in the district. You feel it in just everything that's going on, and it's really
Mhm.
interesting. A lot of candidates burn out. It is a taxing thing. I make it look easy, but it's not easy at all. It's a hard thing, but I kept my goals small in 2024, and I think that really helped. I just wanted to move the needle. I knew that
Mhm.
winning for me was not gonna be possible, but I played sports. I'm an athlete. I know that you're not gonna win every single game. When you get knocked over, you stand back up. So I used utilized those aspects of my life and pushed it into my campaign, and it's paid out because, I was a county chair, so I work really heavily with our county parties. Have now I have an EC position, so I am on the Tennessee State Executive Committee. I'm on the committees that talk about the comms director where you kind of
Yeah.
where the Tennessee
Yeah.
State Party said, "Fuck ICE." We were part of making those decisions. This is what change looks like. It's changing it from the ground up, and we're in a two-party system. I don't love everything Democrats are doing, but we don't have a clear path for third parties. So I always tell people voting is public transportation. You're not looking for a white picket fence at a house. You are looking for the bus going in the direction that you want to see the country go. So hop on the bus. You don't like it in 2 years? Hop right back off. It's just as simple as that. And that's how I've talked about politics. So I want to see that change. And I still approach it as a educator, as someone who wants to see change. And yeah, I'm winning. People are like, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna lose again." Losing doesn't scare me. Voter apathy does.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bar. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. Because 'cause we're yelling at people to vote every day.
Hey.
But you were, breaking it down a little bit, telling us that there is no way to have a third party be successful. So, can you please explain to people what a congressperson does first
I
and how
mean,
you can use that influence at the local
is that
level?
how the
Because
current politicians do it? Because a lot of that is potato work, and it's not a good potato.
potato work.
It's
Yeah.
bland, no salt, no seasoning.
Yeah.
Um, so
That's right.
yeah, and mine also looks like a potato, so, um,
Yeah, he does look like a
unsurprisingly.
potato.
That's always
I was calling him a toe earlier,
yeah,
and
straight up
somebody has to tell that man he looks like a toe.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
Timu Tom Homan.
we'll get into our Timu potato here in a little bit because his story is kind of wild. He's a 16-year incumbent. So
Mhm.
Congress people, they're supposed to work for you. They're supposed to bring not corporate, they're supposed to be tax money revenue back to your district to help grow small businesses, help infrastructure, schooling, whatnot, help your state move forward. But a lot of people are like, well, what does that mean? It really just I don't know what the role completely entails because there are different types of roles. When you're a congressional member, they're the people who are public facing, your AOCs, your Chuck Schumers who are out there in the public doing the thing. And I only use Chuck Schumer. I know he's in the Senate, but these are the prominent Democrats that you'll recognize their
Mhm.
names. There are also people who work behind the scenes on the legislation. They work behind a committee to really just hone in on what is needed at a federal level. And for a lot of people that don't understand our political system, that it works. It's like a big umbrella with tiny little umbrellas underneath it. Your local mirrors that, your state level mirrors that, and then that goes all the way up to your federal. So your federal politicians should be working on rights and laws that benefit the entire country, but also benefit your district. So in my district, it's a rural district. We are
Mhm.
not touching any major cities. And my job is to make it so that rural farmers or rural working class people are properly represented in DC so that they can continue living in their rural communities and not see the squeeze of an economy that's not for them currently. Right now, everything's expensive. We're all feeling the grocery prices. We're all feeling the gas prices. We're all feeling it right now. And that's because politics aren't working for you. They're working for corporations and millionaires and billionaires. And that's what I want to see changed in my role going to Congress.
Yeah, you could tell by the Super Bowl ads, honestly.
Oh yeah.
The Super Bowl ads this year were just really
AI,
funny.
AI, AI, we're gonna surveil you. AI, AI, gamble.
Mhm.
Spend more money, but it's a question we love to ask every single candidate because we always say that after the 2024 election, we all pulled back a curtain of corruption that a lot of us didn't know about because a lot of people don't pay attention to really the backside of politics. So while you're pulling back the curtain, in order to figure out what's corrupt, you have to know what it's supposed to operate like. Like you said, like what is a congressperson supposed to do in in the scenario that isn't this? So we'd like to ask because I think a lot of people have no idea what their representative is actually supposed to do at
No,
this
they
point.
don't.
I didn't know until I ran for office. And I also tell people too, it's customer service. Like, to keep it simple for every single person, I am no different and will be no different than a barista serving you coffee. My difference is I'm doing legislation to make it so that your life is easier, so that coffee is affordable and your housing is affordable and your rent is affordable. It is customer service at its base. And what we've learned is it's been corrupted and they don't represent us. And that's a both sides issue. And it's not just because they're bad politicians. It's the system has been rigged so that bad politicians and money dominates political spheres instead of you and I and our wants, needs, votes showing up in Congress. And I think that's what people need to understand going into 2026. And they should have understood it in 2024 is
Mhm.
politics affects us every single person. The difference is you have to decide if you want to be a player on the field or the turf that politicians walk on.
Mhm. Mhm.
You don't want to
And
be
I know
turf
what
or
I prefer.
something.
I mean, MAGA wants to be turf, but that's a different
Yeah, they want to
conversation.
be turf.
They want
They
to lick
do.
that cleat.
But
Yeah, they do.
they do, but we're slowly witnessing over the past 5-6 months a huge shift, and we've watched a huge shift in Tennessee. Your opponent has been in that seat for it's going to be 15 to 17 years. So obviously he is to blame for what's currently happening to your constituents in Tennessee. Can you give us a little bit more information about how your constituents are being affected by Scott's choices to be MAGA and allow
I
this
think
administration in?
I think this is a good moment, and I'll do this at the end, but I'll talk about first. I'm going to talk about how it's affecting my district. Prices are rising. Rural health hospitals are closing. That is negatively affected. We just had a maternity ward close in one of the counties in my district, and that means that they're driving 45 minutes to an hour for a doctor. They're driving south to Alabama to Huntsville, or they're driving north to Nashville to like
Shit.
Vanderbilt and whatnot, or they're driving into like near where I live to the local hospital that might be able to accommodate them. But we're seeing this ripple effect. We can't get nurses because there's not enough money. There's not enough income in the communities in order to sustain these wages and these high interest, these high knowledge and intellectual jobs, as well as you have the Tennessee state legislature, which is a supermajority. Tennessee is unique in that we have a supermajority in our legislature. We are majority Republican. We have a majority federal offices are held by Republicans. We only have one Democrat at a federal level, which is Steve Cohen in district, I believe it's 9 in Tennessee. That's Memphis. And then we have, a governor that is Republican. And so we have this weird situation where everything that happens negatively in Tennessee is a Republican's fault because our farmers are struggling. We're seeing jobs end. I also live in the whiskey district. So my district it's the best. We host Jack Daniels, Uncle Nearest, and George Dickel, all of which you can buy on your shelf near you at your local liquor store. And they're laying people off. Jack
Yep.
Daniels, which is literally the largest employer in one county in my district, 20 minutes from my home, is already laying people off because they are feeling the negative effects on a national level, but then an international level, other countries are stopping buying American
Mhm.
products because of this, because of what is happening, because of the inhumane treatment. So we're seeing this at all levels. And you might be thinking, what is my beautiful potato of an opponent doing right now? Nothing. He is doing nothing. So now I get to talk about my opponent. So my opponent is Scott Desjardins. And most people don't know who he is because he's quiet. He's just like Marjorie Taylor Greene until she went woke and is quiet. He does all the things. I love that little dig at her. Sorry. Anyways, he's a 16-year incumbent, but he was elected in 2012. And the thing that you need to know about Scott is that all the things I'm about to tell you have not stopped people from voting for him. So in 2012, after he was elected, it came out in divorce papers that he pulled a gun on his wife and dry fired through a door to force her to get an abortion. He has forced 2 other partners to get abortions because they were his patients and he was trading medicine for relations with his patients, and this was a result of it, which he in turn had to stop his profession, which is why he is now the potato in Congress. All this has come out. He has been voted by Conservative Magazine the worst Republican in Congress. He is a Tea Party member, MAGA. He has been caught in closed door sessions telling people that he cannot speak to constituents or he loses votes. This man does not spend a single moment in Tennessee if it's not a paid event with friendly people to show up to. Where I raise 95% of my donations, about $120,000 for small dollar donations, his is the other way around. 1% of his donations are from small dollar. The rest are corporate PAC money. And we checked it yesterday. He has $500,000 in his war chest currently as a sitting congressperson who will not have to lift a single finger until he freaks out when I steal his seat.
Wow.
So that's my
A
opponent.
whole criminal. A
Exactly
whole
what
criminal.
happens when you vote in white men into office that have never been told no before. And let me guess, he probably voted to overturn. He was probably one of the pro overturn Roe v. Wade.
He said God forgive him.
Okay.
Okay, we're
And
kind of
that is his justification. And he will die on that hill. You know, this is a man who doesn't listen to his constituents. You can't get him on the phone. You can't get him in his offices. You know, he's just not here. And he doesn't represent us because, like, I don't know about you, but pulling a gun on a spouse should have been a non-starter as soon,
A
like,
pregnant one.
exactly. And I mean, this is the representation. And Tennesseans, unfortunately, because this story has been plastered everywhere, they don't care. Outside of the state, everybody's like, I'm sorry, what? They literally stop in their tracks, but because he gets away with it, because he's not a well-known potato. He is, you know, quiet, and that's how he gets away with it. And he's a big Trump supporter. You know, he literally posted on his, his Facebook page. And I mean, birds of a feather. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this is representation, and he's just able to do this because they've gerrymandered this district. They've made voters feel unseen. And then the Democratic Party on the other side is suffering from where they just ignore Southern voters. They don't want, because they feel like it's unwinnable, they focus on those blue seats. And unfortunately, the 2026 election is going to be rigged, whether we like it or not. The way that we fight that is on every single field, where we learned in Tennessee during the special election that progressivism works, and that working on a strong ground game, a strong message, a strong candidate can take a 22 plus seat and whittle it down to 8 points. And that was in 2 months. I've been running my campaign since 2020. We haven't run polling numbers, and I likely won't, because I'll know that they're scared when they start attacking me. And I can't wait.
Now tell them what you mean by rigged, because I know some people are going to hear that and say, well, what's the point?
Yeah. So what's the point? Okay, so how they're going to rig this, the President of the United States has said it. They're going to put, my thoughts are, they're going to put ICE at polling stations. They're going to continue voter purges. We're seeing this here in Tennessee. If you're in Tennessee, check your voter registration today and continue checking it every day until the election, until you put that ballot in the ballot box or vote in a polling station. Make sure that you are checking it, because they are going to continue purging. And as far as rigging goes, they want to take over the 15 swing states essentially to stop the election. And that my proposition and way around this, because I know all that just sounds really terrifying. You're probably like, what's the point? Voting is the point. Getting out and challenging every single race, voting all the way up and down the ballot. Vote. You have to vote Democrat up and down the ballot, because right now voting for Republicans is endorsing the captain of their ship, who is trying to actively take us into an iceberg. Pun intended. That is exactly what he's doing. If you don't want that and you want to send an enema through the system, you need to vote blue all the way down the ballot and clear this system out, because the only way that we can bring change is for you to believe that the system can work for us, because that's what they know and that's what they don't want you to know.
Right?
And you don't
Well
have to
done.
vote for the establishment moderate Dems,
No.
because we have candidates like Victoria who don't
Mhm.
take that dang APAC money or those
Mhm.
dang corporate PAC monies.
Yep.
Exactly.
Name of the game. You go to primaries,
What a
you
thought.
pick which person with the letter D next to their name to represent you, and then whoever wins that, even if it's not the person you voted for, when you go to midterms, you vote for them because at that
Mhm.
point, by midterms, it's blue no matter who. But
Yeah.
primaries doesn't have to be that way. It can be whoever
Yeah.
you want, who is the Democrat to represent you. So, I mean, right now, you go to the primary, you vote for Victoria.
Mhm.
Then when she wins, you vote for Victoria again.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun? But yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you. We've coined the phrase with the People's Sick Day that's going to be too big to rig, meaning
Mhm.
if everybody shows up and votes like we've been seeing in Texas, like we've been seeing in Tennessee and in New Jersey recently,
Louisiana.
he shows up, all the registered Dems who don't show up, it's going to be too big. The margins will be
Mhm.
too large for them to rig it. That is what we completely agree with. You have to vote always, every time blue.
Mhm. Mhm. And if we lose a seat in Michigan, guess what? We flipped a seat in Tennessee, or 3 seats in Tennessee, or flipped seats in Tennessee and got 2 more in Georgia, because we've got amazing candidates all the way
Mm.
across the ballot. And, I got a lot of pushback running as a progressive, and it worked. It worked. What was I offering that Democrats hadn't offered before? And I offered it. I've outworked my counterparts. I've outworked people in my campaign because I believe in what I'm doing. I'm not doing this because I want to retire at the end of the time. I don't even know if I want to be president at this point, which I know is the first question that's going to happen when I get into office. When I get into office. But I wanna see change, and I wanna be able to see that flow downhill, and that my district thrives and our entire country thrives, and we can bring some common sense and decency back to DC, which it's sorely
Please.
lacking right now.
Oh, yeah.
Please. Please,
Yes.
please. So I want to know how you are going to use your experience in the logistics slash tech field while you're in office.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I worked in international and domestic logistics for 5 years. Unfortunately, COVID and, the administration affected that role. So I ended up moving into the tech industry. I've always worked in some form of support role. I treat every job like it's customer service. And so I moved into tech support. I'm going to utilize this. We actually just talked about AI. So I think this is a great time to talk about how my experience in the tech industry is why I want to see stronger legislation against AI, because I know that not only is it taking away working class jobs, it's affecting roles like my own, where I have to worry about if an email can sound more like me than me. If you are using ChatGPT to write emails, go and ask it how you sound, because I guarantee you it can write an email to sound just like you. And I've learned that
Mhm.
and tested that, because I want to know what it is doing. And we all need a little help here and now, but your job needs to be protected. So I want to see that addressed, because we also have the added a bonus, the added not bonus, but it's what it's doing to our children and their safety, because we're having these bots that are able to create images that are unacceptable. So we need to be able to protect our children. We need to be able to protect our jobs. And then when I talk about the logistics side of this, is I am an industry person. I want to see small business, medium-sized businesses thrive. I don't want to see our corporations go under, but I do want to see them pay their fair share. So I want to use
Yep.
that knowledge that I learned in international domestic logistics to fortify our relationships, because we have a lot of tariffs going on right now with a president who doesn't understand how tariffs work. And as someone who had $3.5 million of freight stuck on an ocean liner while I'm trying to figure out the cost with the owners of a company and how we're going to get it on US soil, I can attest to it's not a fun thing. And I lost my job as a consequence to them having to figure out how to pay those additional costs, because the contracts were already paid. So this is those things that we need in Congress. We need people who understand international domestic logistics and tariffs at even a surface level. We need people who understand what's going on in the tech industry and how it's negatively affecting our jobs and how it will continue to negatively affect our jobs if we don't put some guardrails up to protect every single person. So I want to utilize all of that. But at the core of that, I'm a customer service person. I'm your barista who knows your coffee order. That should be my job. My job is going to be very hard and very busy, but I believe in that, and I believe that we can bring that in our district. So it's going to be me in DC and then me in my district working, going to community events, supporting, showing children that it is possible to look different, act different, speak differently, and still move through our country and get into the highest offices and do good. So that's how I'm going to use it going into 20 going in when I win this election because that's what I'm going to do.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
like it.
I do, and I like that you brought up the AI and the
Mhm.
safety behind it. I feel like so many people, especially people in politics, were like, we gotta put restrictions on AI because I have a feeling that this is gonna turn into something very, very scary involving children. And just this week, Devin and I on the main episode had to cover the story of the X, Twitter X
Yeah.
offices in France being raided because Grok AI was creating child pornography using
Mhm.
AI.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many warnings do you have to get before that becomes real life? You can get
Mm.
politicians who are just going to sit there and warn you and then not do anything, like not read the big beautiful bill and see, the hidden section about AI in it because they didn't read it, but actually politicians that are going to write up legislation who are going to actually read legislation that's brought to the table in its entirety, including all bills, because apparently even budget bills have AI verbiage in there, and
Mhm.
make sure that it doesn't happen instead of trying to do damage control after the fact.
And
Or
I mean, I
license
want
it to the Department of Defense.
exactly, and I wanna see it one step further. Something I've talked about with AI and just with children in general, all these companies, these tech companies, are gathering data on our children. They're gathering data. They know every single thing that your child is interested, whether you're buying it on Amazon, whether you're buying, they have profiles built out of them. We've
Yep.
seen Westworld. We've seen these, how this can predetermine a child's future. And I want to put
Yep.
every guardrail around that because children deserve to grow up and grow in a way that isn't going to be affected because we know who's going to be affected by this. We know that
Mhm.
these profiles are going to negatively affect Black, Brown, and Indigenous children. They're going to negatively affect children in low income situations that are being born to families who quite literally can't afford to have them. So we need to put up guardrails to protect their social media presence, to protect their identities because they deserve a choice. And parents should be able to post their children online without the fear that it's going to end up
Mhm.
in some AI bot and being explicitly shown to as explicit child material. Like these are
Yep.
things that have to be addressed and we need people in DC who care enough to push this legislation through and hold these corporations, these big tech companies accountable for children's data. That is a other part of this as well that we have to address. And that's why I believe I'm the best candidate for the job because I have these experiences. I understand it at a surface level. I can do some basic level SaaS product experience. So
Yep.
we need people who understand that, who understand it,
Mhm.
understand the tech industry, as well as understand what is at stake if we don't rein it in.
Uh-huh.
Because it's getting spooky. Getting real spooky
Yeah, very
Real
quick.
scary.
fast.
I don't like
Too fast.
I don't like these movies. Like, did we all watch these movies? Like, didn't
I
everyone
did.
here?
I watched all
Yeah.
the Terminators growing up, and I'm like, why are we doing any of this?
Yeah.
Like, where's Jeff Goldblum screaming just because we can doesn't mean we should.
I've spec
I watched Smart House, that Disney Channel movie, because I was terrified by it.
horrified. I watched Terminator 3 and I said, "Oh, like in 2009, I guess." I was in high school and I was like, "Google is Skynet." I was like, "Why isn't anyone else realizing that?"
Mhm.
I Robot, where the robots start controlling No,
Yeah, no,
nope,
it's
nope.
it's a hard pass for me. It
I'm
just
a
is.
white woman with blonde hair. I know how this movie ends for me.
Yes, yes, yes. Or it's just like we could focus on strengthening our Department of Education so that people don't feel like they need to use AI to write an email. Like they're
Yeah.
confident in their writing ability because they had a great education system given to them so that they don't feel like, "Oh, I need AI to help me structure this sentence and make it
Or
sound
to
right."
write a paper.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Read papers, cite sources, all of those things,
Remember citing sources?
I know, right?
and
Where
it's
they're
not.
like, Wikipedia doesn't count as a source.
Yeah, and,
Mhm.
like, these AI platforms have been proven to be not based in fact all the time. You can easily get it to tell you something that, like, the sky is green if you want it to. Like, people play around with it, it's insane. So, yes, there has to be, like, hard guardrails that you can't get by, and it's gotten really crazy really fast. So, I'm glad that you are of the, we need to get in there and figure that shit
Yes.
out immediately."
Immediately. We got a lot to work on, but that
Yes.
needs to be top of mind. I mean, and these are all things that we can address. You know, like people want to separate all these political like things out, this policy out from this policy, but a lot of them are intertwined. You know, when you address infrastructure, you're also addressing income. When you address healthcare, you're also addressing other issues like small businesses not having to worry or compete with multi-million-dollar corporations. These are things that if we address them at a surface level or at a like a root cause, we can put that like antidote throughout the entire system. And these things do have to be addressed, but we can address so much together if people just take a second and look at the big picture
Mhm.
and not you know, you can't see the forest if you're too close to the trees, like you
Mhm.
know, that kind of thing.
Yes. Yes, we can't be selfish when we go in and vote and say, "Well, I don't have a job that could get taken by AI, so why should I care what happens with AI?" And when we act that way, and it's not true because at this point, who's to say what happens with AI? But it can affect a lot of other parts of your life, not even just your job. So I think a lot of
Mhm.
people have that mentality. They say the same thing with like, "Oh, why would I care about the Department of Education? I don't have children and I already went to school. So why would I care what happens?" It's like, okay, no, that's
Mhm.
not how that works. That's just not how
Mhm.
that works at all. So we all have to go to the polls informed and not selfishly as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's
Seriously.
already affecting your jobs. When you order online for a drink at your favorite, you know, coffee shop, or you order your Walmart order to deliver to your house or to pick up, that is you utilizing technology to get rid of a job. And eventually, they'll be able to do all these things without people in the stores. I mean, there are already
Yes.
models for this that we're seeing. So it is not a far stretch to know that this is going to happen. And
Mhm.
needs to be addressed. It needs to be protected because your experience, yes, you should be able to write an email and not worry that an AI could do it better than you. I mean, it'd be nice to help clean it up, but it should be a tool, not a
Yep.
replacement.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Yes. So we wanted to ask you this question because you're in Tennessee. This is a huge, and it has been for decades, a huge topic of debate, which is gun reform legislation. And I want to know what type of gun reform legislation you would introduce when you win as somebody who's in Tennessee near Memphis that just has obviously a larger history of gun violence.
Yeah, so this is a multi-tiered. We have to address people's needs. We can't just say we're going to put this legislation to like ban guns, which I'm not going to do. As a owner myself, I understand that responsible owners are the people that there are not causing crime. However, as a responsible gun owner, I know it is my duty to recognize there is an issue and step up to the plate. And so this is making sure that, you know, we don't need automatic assault rifles. We don't need that. We need safe storage laws that require you that if your gun is in a car, that you are required to safely store it because the
Yep.
crime rate in Tennessee, most guns are stolen out of cars because they're not locked up. And in fact, the governor, one of the candidates for governor here in Tennessee is Jerry Green. She's out of
Yep.
Memphis. She has a fantastic like where you literally fill out a form and you get a special tool that helps lock your gun up when it's in the
I
car,
love that
and
one.
they just give it
Yeah.
out. And like I didn't know that but, like, brilliant. Well, and
Uh,
when we're doing these
Cheap.
things yeah, it's cheap. It's like, what? It
Yeah.
cost her, like, $25. She's like, "It's like,
She
yeah.
told
it's the
us it
best
was
money
like
you could spend."
it was literally so cheap. It was like a couple dollars for each one, and it practically paid for itself in the statistics for gun violence going down and the statistics of stolen guns
Dramatically.
immediately dropping.
I was
I was
shook.
blown away with what you told us.
Yeah, and she's fantastic. I've
Yes.
done a lot of events with her. I've gotten to know her through this campaign, and we
Mhm.
giggle about the fact that, like, we're both blondes running in Tennessee and are moms of kids, and, like, we had similar styles, and she was like, "Who is this woman?" But the other side of this is, like, addressing the socioeconomic issues. If people don't have access to healthcare, food, adequate resources, education, we can't help them do better. You know, people, they blame mental health care. So often I hear that. And I'm just over here like, there are plenty of people walking around a lot more messed up who aren't out here committing crimes. But if that's your argument, address it. Address it.
Yup.
Make mental health care access accessible and affordable. Make it so that there isn't an excuse that children are getting falling through the system because their home life isn't working or their lives are struggling. You know, these are things that we can address across the board, and we'll see what Jerry Green did is this simple fix fixed in a real way, and the numbers show for it, and we can do that and implement these things pretty quickly because we already have the footprint. I'm a big Bernie Sanders fan. I think that Medicare for all is the right decision for us. It is implementable. We can do it quickly, and we have the infrastructure already. So, like, why not? Why not take the private insurance companies out of this so that at least healthcare is addressed first and foremost? Because when people aren't worried about their medical costs or they're not putting things off to go to the hospital, they're more likely to make smart choices and be able to move in ways and leave jobs that are stressing them out because they're not worried about health insurance and they have a system of it and a safety net to protect them. And that's how I want to address this going into Congress because I know we're going to have to do it at a federal level because states, unfortunately, are going to go by the old adage of states' rights, which is just a dog whistle for oppression and systems of oppression. At the end of the day, that's all it is. And it's not here to help you. It's meant to help someone who's making a profit.
She
We need
knows
more
ball.
people like you who are like, because I feel like obviously MAGA and Republicans, when they hear the word gun reform, they're like, they're taking our guns. They're going to take every gun. They're going to take it. And it's like, how many times did Kamala Harris have to tell you, I have a Glock?
Yeah, literally. I got one. I got an AR too. And we have some fun on the weekends. I have gun therapy sometimes where I just go to the range and I let off a few rounds because
Yeah.
life is crazy. And I work in customer service and I'm just like every single other person. I know how it goes. But like these are normal things. And I'm not here to take your gun. I
Uh-huh.
enjoy mine. I enjoy going to the range. I enjoy knowing that my opponent's opponent won't debate me, but he wants to go to the range with me. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's hilarious. And also it's like, who wants
Okay.
I'm 5'2" and a half. Like, everybody wants to see a cute little blonde out here shooting a gun and having like just showing you that it is possible that we're able to do these things. I'm not like some crazy person. I just want responsible owners to own this moment and make it so it's safer for entire communities. So children can go to school safely, communities can be safe, and that benefits everyone.
Mhm.
Oh man, so we're not gonna get the Republican postcard from you where you're posing with the AR on the Christmas card?
With your
Uh,
AK.
Fun fact, I had a house party. Little side note, I had a house party in 24 and one of the owners was like, "Do you want to pose with a gun?" And I was like, "Absolutely I do." So the entire guest list is there, and I'm just in the front with the gun. It
Just
was
do
a
that for
rifle
your
of
next
some
mailer.
yeah,
Just
like,
do it for your
literally,
mailers.
Really send them into a spiral. They'll be like, wait, wait,
"Wait,
wait,
what?
The
What's
Republicans will
happening
be
here?"
like, "Fuck yeah."
wait.
Yeah.
She's holding a gun, and then we got this guy that looks like a toe.
It's like, "Go get the horse. I'll shoot off the horse. Let's go. Like, let's show them that I
Yeah.
can do this. Let's go
Yes.
full, like, old Western. Put me on the
Yeah,
horse.
you
I'll
need
just,
to have
like"
a full, like, MAGA presenting commercial that plays that they're, like, fully tied in at the end. You're like, "I'm a Democrat."
This is where AI is acceptable. You put some wings on the horse
Yeah.
and just throw it on the gun too while you're at it. Just have a whole
Full AI
I love it.
commercial at the end, say you're not red. It's just
They'd be like,
really
hell yeah.
Yeah, just like, are you tired of liberals ruining your life? Vote for me.
that way. Because I'm a
Me
liberal.
too.
I hate it too. Let's go.
Let's go.
How we win.
Perfect.
All
Noted.
right. Well, we got the gun reform down. So I guess this kind of sort of answers the next question. What are your top 3 priorities when you get in? Because it looks like you want to address healthcare. So
Mhm.
that'd probably be one of the ones that would help
Yeah,
out with gun
so
reform.
what I'm running on in 26 is safety, affordability, freedom, and equity. And I'm finding a way to wrap this into like keep it safe, make it safe, that kind of thing. That is like the narrative, like what we're using as like our slogans, whatnot. And it's easy for people to remember. They can think about safety and think about what I just talked about when it comes to gun legislation, but they can also think about it as safety nets, making sure that you're in if you're struggling or need help. Affordability. We want grocery prices to be affordable. We want gas prices to be affordable. We need rent and housing to be affordable. Healthcare needs to be affordable. All those things are covered under affordability. As well as, when we talk about affordability, you should be able to work a full time job and have money at the end of the month, as well as be able to take vacations and spend that pocket money in small towns or out on a cruise. I mean, I just wanna see it so that working class people are better represented. And freedom is another part of that. It's making sure that your voter rights are protected, making sure that your gun rights are protected while making sure that people are protected, because you can't live in a country and be free if you're worried about your safety and you're worried about affordability and you're worried about your voting rights being taken away. That is freedom. Freedom is freedom, like, to be and, live, like, what good is freedom if you can't afford it? And then equity, we wanna make it equitable for every single voter. That doesn't mean that if someone's getting a leg up, it just means that everyone gets opportunities to step up to the plate and to their full potential, and that means that your communities are well funded. In a rural community like mine, we need to make sure those tax dollars are working for us in a real way, because we're not gonna be able to compete with New York, but that's not the goal. Our goal is to have a cute little downtown with a coffee shop and a restaurant and, and maybe a chocolate shop. Like, we want that to be possible so that people don't have to leave their rural communities, their small town, to go to a big city in order to raise a family and afford life. We want to make it so that it is equitable for every single person, and your lifestyle can reflect that. Whether you're Black, brown, and indigenous, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, everyone deserves an equal shot in life, and everyone needs to pay their fair share and be able to contribute to a system so that your communities look just as beautiful as our country does.
No notes.
No notes. It's crazy because a lot of those values, I'm sitting here like, Republicans, are you hearing this? These are a lot of like standard Republican, or what we used to think were Republican values, saying like, they're always like, we don't want the big city roaring. We want to be able to enjoy our small town. We want small business. We want everything in house. We don't want this big government looming over us. And here you are like, I would like to help you achieve that. And they're like, whoa, that sounds like
No,
DEI. Get that
she sounds woke. Throw her out with the trash. She's a politician. She's lying.
It's just so crazy though, because from like with the People's Sick Day and trying to plan a general strike, we like there are people that are Republicans that are like see our list of demands and they're like a minimum $15 a minimum wage, healthcare for all, and they're just like, wow, that sounds real good. You had me until you said impeach and arrest Trump. So it's like, okay, so you literally want the same stuff. It's just you just have you won't get over this guy.
Mhm. They bought in.
That's the
They
only
bought
thing
the white
holding you
picket
back.
fence. They bought the American dream. That's what they did with
But it's
Trump.
like he's not going to give you the rest of the stuff on that list.
No. You
No.
get it's like is it like the Temu AI version of the house that they're buying? Is that what's happening here?
It
Like,
is.
because that's what it
Yeah.
feels like. Because they're like, you're gonna get this beautiful white picket fence house, and then they show up and it's like the Temu version.
It is. They're like
Barely.
the dog sitting in the house that's on fire that's like, this is fine. This is
Exactly.
fine. Like, at what point are you just lying to yourself? And so, I mean,
Mhm.
those seem like the thing is that every time we talk to a candidate, we ask again, this is another question we ask everyone because there's so many things. This is why I can't run for office because I would not be able to micromanage myself. I would get in there and just be guns ablazing. I want to do everything at once. Nuremberg trials for every single ICE agent. I'm talking impeach, remove everyone, boom, 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 healthcare for all. But I realize the reality of that situation.
On day one.
Day one.
I'm like Trump. I'm like, on day one, every single ICE agent's having a Nuremberg trial. Like
Yep.
I'm sounding a little mag over here, but that's why I can't run. But we always ask because it's like, what in reality should be the top priorities? And I think yours is like a perfect like package of what we can do to divert from the destruction that this
Mhm.
administration has caused and will continue to cause until we win back a majority,
Which we're gonna do
Salty.
in 26.
which we're inching closer and closer. So it's really what damage can be done in the next 8 months, but that's a lot of months. It
Yeah.
is. So,
Yeah.
it's
It's an actual inch, not a MAGA inch, because those are not the
yes,
same.
actual.
Our
So
metric systems aren't the same.
yeah, so but in order for you to win, people have to go out and vote. And we've talked about how important voting is, but we also know that a lot of people have felt like their vote doesn't matter anymore after the 2024 election. So, what would you say to somebody in your district that came up to you and said, uh, the system's kind of corrupt and I don't think my vote really matters, so I might not vote?
Yeah, I mean, I would look at them and be like, "You're right, the system is corrupt, and the system is working exactly as it's intended." I would tell them to, like, "If you want change, you have to be a part of that, and it's not gonna look beautiful every single time. It's not gonna look like a win across the country. It might just
Yep.
be several states flipping seats. It could be Tennessee flipping all of its seats and getting in more progressives across the state. However, that is a win, and that's something that we've learned in this is that the small wins matter too. I would have given up every single one of like the chance to win in 24 if every single state candidate and county commission candidate underneath my campaign won their races because I understood that that work would pay for itself. Now the likelihood is if they all won, I'd be winning too, which is the goal in 2026. I am working
Yeah.
actively with county commission state seats because I know that those are all coalitions that I can build. Those are relationships I can build. Those are people that will call me. They'll have my phone number in 2026. Then they'll say, Victoria, this is going on in Tennessee. How can I help? And like, what are we doing? And that communication is there. That relationship is there because it means I'm still engaged with my community. And so that's something that I would say to these voters is you need candidates that better represent you. And
Mm,
it's a job interview. Interview us. Give us the hard questions, but don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Because a lot of us are coming into this as I'm a working mom. I wouldn't, if you asked me a year ago, I would tell you I'm not a politician. And now, according to Google and just my stances and where I am and my platform, I'm a politician. Don't trust me. Watch me work and vote me out if I'm not doing the work for you because you deserve better, not because I'm in
mhm.
there just for my ego. This isn't an ego thing. This is a representation thing, and you deserve better. And that resonates with rural voters. It resonates with non-voters because they can watch my work. And that's what we saw with Afton's campaign here in Tennessee, where we grew this district and we whittled down that. Watch us work. Progressivism is working people. We understand a hard day's work. We understand what you're spending because we're watching it happen at the grocery store. We're just taking that anger and putting it in the direction of change for our country. And it's going to look different but it's possible to bring change because we learned that in 2024 with my race. And when I flip the seat, I'm going to be insufferable.
So
You just told me.
I'll never let you guys live it down when we flip it. But you're
I
right.
will
I'm never
never
gonna shut up.
You
'Cause I
got
didn't get I didn't get state party help, I didn't get DNC help, and it's not looking like I'm gonna get help this time. But when people
Oh,
say
what a shock.
you're the underdog, I'm just like and like Jerry Green, watch us. Watch us flip these seats. Watch us show you what is possible because it's gonna feel really good. And
it
trust me, I'm
is.
gonna feel really good doing it but it's going to feel better for every single person in District 4 in Tennessee and in the country because I represent the entire country as well as my district.
Yes, we have to start treating voting as white men treat their mediocre sport team. That just disappoints them time and time again each year, but every year on the dot, like, all right, let's do this again.
Something's gonna change next year.
Change this year. I'm gonna vote again. I'm gonna go again and vote. It's gonna
Is this
be great.
hashtag Patriots?
Yes,
Okay.
as somebody who grew up in New England, yes, every year it's just, for a while we were doing good and it felt really good. And then it was really, really bad. But every year, without a doubt, they were tailgating every game. They were showing up. They were getting disappointed, but they were showing up again. And that's how we have to treat voting. Even when it's bad, like you said, it's not always going to be beautiful. We're going to take losses. We were in that stage in 2024. We took some really big losses and a lot of people wanted to throw in the towel. And if you just treat it like your mediocre sports team and show back up next year and vote for the right people, then it'll be beautiful again. You can't just throw in the towel.
Yeah.
I need them all to be delusional Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
This is going to be our year this year.
The Cowboys.
Just do that with voting. This is going to be our year this year.
I used to live in Texas. I'm still on Ted Cruz's email list because I used to email him daily. I made that my pastime when I was bored at work is to yell at Ted Cruz in emails. And
hey, Ted, it's me again.
Nobody loves Texas as much as Texans love Texas. And that is what I learned.
Yeah.
I learned in a real way. But I mean, hey, you do you, baby girl. You're gonna win that. You're gonna win that game.
Yeah, and they have been. They have been. Texas has been winning. Isn't that crazy?
Listen, the South is not safe for Republicans anymore. It is not safe.
I heard a candidate in Tennessee, as she's sitting Zofad. What's her last name? Anyway, she's one of the representatives in Nashville, and she says the path to DC is the South. And I agree with her because we have been ignored, and people think that like somehow because Democrats in the South aren't as like outspoken or they're not like, it's just not winnable, that it's not possible to flip these seats. But progressivism is alive and well. I have districts in my county, I have counties in my district that are hosting protests every single weekend that I'm speaking at them, and I'm seeing Republicans show up now. My lawyers are Republican because all of this craziness has led to me needing a lawyer. And I just happen to have a Republican lawyer who's like, no, I got you. My whole thing is criminal law. So like, I got you. And this is what we're seeing is like, I went to a fish fry. I wrote a Substack article about it. And the county chair was wearing a very progressive anti-racist shirt. And I'm thinking, this is rural Tennessee. And this man is walking around in this shirt, utilizing his privilege to speak out. Tennesseans have something to say. We are not a red state. We are a non-voting state and a voter suppression state. That is what we are. And we can bring change in 26. It's just going to take every single voter. And I'm here to do that work, understanding that they matter.
Simple as that. Your vote matters. Please vote.
It does.
And Victoria's saying it the nice way, and we say it the not nice way, which is better vote.
Get in that fucking booth or you're going to piss me off.
I will not forgive any of you.
No, don't talk to me if you don't vote. If you don't vote, don't you dare.
I feel like that needs to be a t-shirt now. Like, I just thought of it. I was like, vote or catch these hands.
Yes.
Vote or I'll beat your fucking ass.
Old school on you. Get it at the shoe.
It's quite literally meet me outside in the street if you don't.
Vote or square up, because I've had enough. People talking about you don't want to vote. It's the easiest fucking thing you could do. It's literally below the bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare minimum is voting every 2 to 4 years. The actual work is when you become a bona fide voter. Fun fact, every candidate gets vetted in Tennessee. And this is the first time where I realized that my voting record was actually brought up. And people were like, no, she's a bona fide Democrat. And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, you vote in special elections. You vote in off-season elections. You're midterm, like bona fide.
She's a Democrat.
Like, she said she's on a roll of voting.
Yeah, like, they're like, "She's over," like, they don't knock my door, nor do they call me because they're like, "No, she gonna show up at the polls.
You know,
We
Victoria's
got it,
good.
look, Victoria's good, she's got it. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine."
like, let's all strive to be that level. Let's all strive to get a gold star in voting this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Let's
feels
be
good
good
Whoever
at
too.
the
voting.
most wins.
I always say too, activism is a muscle. Like, I started this by voting. Like, in 20 Trump won, I started voting. I started paying attention to my local and state elections and my federal elections. I started emailing Ted Cruz and what is it? What's his the other one, Cornyn, and like annoying them. I started being present, and then it shifted. It shifted into working on a political campaign, and then my experience led to me, becoming county chair and starting to understand how internal politics works. And in 2024, I had every reason to step away from the party. I didn't get support. I didn't feel recognized for my work, but I decided to utilize that for being on the Tennessee State Executive Committee. So now I'm a voice for rural voters, for young voters, for people who feel disenfranchised by the Democratic Party. And you're seeing that in the Tennessee State Party and how we are functioning because we're literally making moves. And that is what happens when you recognize that the system is meant to work exactly to make you feel like you shouldn't vote. But if you get involved and you start working at it every single level, you can affect change. There is a reason that Gloria Johnson picks up my phone, like my phone calls. There is a reason that I have been endorsed by the Freedom of Thought Caucus out of DC. This is work that I've been building for 2 years. And I'm doing that and don't expect a single thing because when I flip this seat, I'm going to be insufferable.
Yep. That's just
Better be. Better be.
Unstoppable.
Yes. That's what we need. All right. We've reached the fun portion.
Yay.
Nobody wants this job. If you're president, who is your dream VP, living or dead? Doesn't have to even be a politician.
I thought about it this morning, and just because I gotta love on my girl, I would love AOC to be my VP. I'd be her VP. Like, look, I will do it. I'll whatever mommy wants, she can have. Like, I love her. She does amazing work. And I just think like just a power dynamic of two like fun sized and feral women in the White House. It's gonna be so much fun.
like, oh my God, not one woman, but two. Short circuit. Let's
Mac over there like it's one of them struggling with their month, like their time of the month, and I'm over here like, no, it's just a Tuesday. You're just not used to being
No.
coddled. It's fine.
We just know how to tell you no.
fun. They
Yeah.
won't because we're all gonna have so much fun. That's what they're not gonna like. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
they don't.
like the fun we're all gonna have. We're gonna
Joy
be
is resistance.
yeah, like they don't like that Kamala Harris was having fun in office. She was going and dancing. She was
Her
making jokes,
laugh.
she was on talk show. They hated how much fun she was.
Mhm. And
And she
she's so kind. Like I got
Mhm.
to stand a couple of feet from her, and then I went to her book tour thing, and I literally blew like my budget for a month just so that I could buy a ticket to go to this like book tour thing because I wanted to be in her presence because I was like,
Yeah.
you're so inspirational. What you've done is inspirational. Your book is
Mhm.
inspirational, and you're not turning away. You have every reason to turn away, and you're leaning in. And like
Mhm.
having her being a couple of feet from me, it was a great moment. But that was because I was helping with Afton Bain's campaign because I was taking my
Mhm.
time, my off days to canvas for Afton Bain and like help her and connect
Yeah.
her with creators, connect her with people who could interview her because I wanted to see change because I realized all boats rise with the tide and my contribution helps with that.
It's a group project. It's a group
Yeah.
Yeah.
project. The more we all work together, the more we can all win.
Mhm.
We know not every single as much as we want, and we're putting into the universe that every single grassroots candidate running wins. We also understand the reality is that we need a majority, and probably not everyone is going to win this year. That doesn't
Mhm.
mean that that change isn't coming. I think once we get grassroots candidates in office, things will never go back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Believe that. But so many people are working together, people that have had primaries and have won their primary. Other people are trying to get them out to different podcasts they've been on or talk shows or like sharing, kind of building
Mhm.
like a coalition in terms of helping each other and lending each other resources. And that is how grassroots candidates are also going to win. And so to
Mhm.
see you guys in Tennessee really banding together, talking to Jerry Green, who's running for governor, who's a grassroots candidate, Afton, really all these powerful, amazing women coming together to say we have to help each other because they want to probably pin you all against each other.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or woman thing, pin all the women against each other. Then they see you actually all like each other and they're like, dang it.
No, the
No.
patriarchy fails again.
Oh my goodness. The white ladies, they like each other.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, and it's
Sure.
and this is how we bring change. Like, I'm part of a group of progressive candidates from throughout the country. And the thing that I say, because I'm one of the few candidates that's run two congressional races simultaneously. Now, that's not the first time it's happened in my district, but it's the first time in a while. And I tell every single one of them, don't give up, run again. Losing is
Yep.
not, it should not be the reason you don't do this again. Take a break, get a breather, get a strong drink some water, and move forward because we
Mhm.
can't every single one of these races has to be pushed for. We have to work for it. We know that nobody's going to give it to us easy, but we can help each other give a leg up. And that is my goal as a candidate. That's why I work so hard with Afton. It's why I know Jerry. I wrote 150 postcards for Jerry Green. People are like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "One, it's every person who donates to my campaign gets a handwritten thank you note. So I wrote like something like 4,000. So 150 is nothing. But
Ooh,
past that, it is
Dang.
part of supporting candidates. I work full
Yeah.
time. So like it's easy to knock those out. It's easy to thank every single one of my donors. That is the least I can do because you're giving up your time, your money to make sure that my campaign goes through. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that. And that helps all boats rise with the tide. So I utilize that not only to make it so that my campaign runs more, but I donate that time out. I donate additional time. Every time you donate to my campaign, that's call time that I don't have to do. That's additional content that I get to make. And I can donate my time of 150 postcards to Jerry Green to help her
mhm.
unseat and not lose an election to Marsha Blackburn, who is the most corrupt
She
politician right
sucks.
now. This is how we bring change. So activism is a muscle. Pick something today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah.
This might be the hardest question you have to answer today.
Mhm.
Is our would you rather, which is pretty much choosing the lesser of two evils with MAGA
Oh
politicians.
god.
So for this one, would you rather question at a hearing Cash Patel high on cocaine or Marco Rubio high on cocaine?
I
Ooh.
originally thought I was gonna say Marco Rubio, but I just had the thought, I feel like that's not his first rodeo with cocaine, so I feel like Cash Patel might be really funny to watch. So I'm gonna go with Cash
I think
Patel.
he's a seasoned vet too, though. Definitely.
I mean I mean, I don't know which one is gonna be the more fun, and I'm bringing popcorn.
Mhm. I feel
You
like
best
Cash
believe
Patel is
I'll be on the
most
house floor.
back,
God, do you see
you
this?
know? Right? I do. I you are somebody I'd want at a
Yeah.
congressional hearing to be asking questions.
Uh-huh.
There's like
If
a
my
group,
mouth doesn't say it, my face will.
yeah, but I'm like,
I love a loud face.
I need you guys in there because I do feel like out of both of them, I feel like you would get Cash Patel to say the thing he's not supposed to say.
Oh, I'm
Mhm.
really good at getting people to say the things they don't wanna say.
Yeah.
I'm really good. Something about someone who's 5'2.5", and half does count, annoying you to a point really just makes men act unhinged, and it's the smile that I give. Like, I don't know why, but it makes them unload on me in the
Yeah.
worst type of way.
Because they're
And
like, "Why
it's
the fuck is she smiling?"
I
Yeah.
think they just expect it. They think that they're in company with someone who is like them, and then they find out that I'm not that way, and then they find out that they've made a massive mistake and they're trying to backpedal out, and then they just start saying the unhinged things. Well, the thing is, I'm a lot of things, but above it's not one of them. So I'm just constantly like, let's push it. Let's see
Push
what
it.
you
When
will
were you
say.
what's your birthday?
I was born in May, so I'm a Taurus,
Oh, you're
but
close. I was
I'm
like,
a
"That's Cancer
millennial.
speak."
Cancer energy.
I'm a millennial too. So like
Yes,
I've
it's also
lived in
millennial.
unprecedented times and I just want to live in precedented times. But as a millennial and to do
Facts.
service to all of us, I have one foot in the grave. Try me.
Literally. Literally,
Literally.
right? They probably get so angry because they can't use their one comeback for women, which is to tell you to smile more when you're actually already smiling. So then they short circuit because they don't know. They're like, that's the only
Does
I
not
have so much
compute.
fun in my comment section. I get a lot of unhinged men in my comments. And after the fuck ice post, I got a man telling me that I needed to have that done to me. And I said, my husband handles that thoroughly. And unlike you, knows how to let women finish.
they're just they have the audacity. They do.
I can't wait
And
to say that on Fox News. That's
I
my
know.
dream right now.
I want you to say that to Jesse Waters because I feel like
Yeah.
Dreams.
melt.
I will do it. Somebody get this to Fox News today. Get me on Fox News.
Hey.
Let me say something out of pocket and be like, I know you don't know how to let women finish. Like,
And I'm screen recording it immediately.
Immediately.
instantly elected.
I mean, we love to vote off vibes, right?
It's a vibe. I mean, like the idea that like I could tell Jesse Waters, like, I know you don't know this, but your sentence doesn't start in the middle of mine would be a really good thing to say. And just like watch him break in real time and then be like, and anyway, real sad, real sad.
Dude,
Anyway.
so mad. They get so mad. It's so good. It's so good.
I mean, they want to call you every name under the books. And I'm like, you guys, I don't have feelings, so you can't hurt them. Like
the immediate calling you a bitch.
I am a millennial. There's nothing left you can say that can hurt me.
They're like over here, like, you're gonna lose. Okay. So I get to, like, you don't belong in this country.
Let's find out.
Kick me out.
Find out.
Ooh, I get to go to England. Oh no. Save us all. Universal health care and cups of tea aplenty. The worst.
Oh no, not socialism. Anything but that.
Right? It's crazy.
All right. So when you win, where are we going? I think we're gonna be picking up Jerry too. What's your hidden gem in Tennessee? What are we doing?
Hidden gem. Oh my gosh. I mean, I live in whiskey district, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how much I love bourbon and whiskey. Fun fact, I helped run a bourbon channel called Bourbon Blind for a while. I did all the social media stuff, and it was just blind tasting whiskey and bourbon and telling you how much we would pay for it, and then we'd be shocked. They would be shocked. The guys would be shocked at the end. My district's a hidden gem. I've got Jack Daniels. I've got George Dickel. I've got Uncle Nearest. I've got all the dudes, and they're the best kind of dude because they don't talk back when you're sipping on them. So you should come to my district and have a sip. Come and hang out with me. I love a nice, a single barrel Jack Daniels. I love some 8-year George Dickel. Uncle Nearest is like near and dear to my heart. I haven't picked my favorite with them because they're still on the new side, but I love a good, stiff, neat whiskey. And I'm ready to work in Congress, guys, because I'm already ordering the drinks at every. It's not frou or whatever. It is literally a neat whiskey double. Like,
you hear that, Republicans? She likes whiskey and guns. What more do you need to hear?
And guns, and I can ride horses, and I can shoot well. So, like, I'm just saying.
That's what we're doing.
Wrap it up in a bow.
Shoot some guns. Then we're gonna go celebrate with a little whiskey, and then we'll go to the Glorilla concert.
Absolutely, it's gonna be so much fun.
Whole day. It's a whole day of things.
Whole day of things.
All right.
Man things. If you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
Yep. I love it. I love
She knows ball.
Yes.
Love it.
I love it. Thank you, Victoria, so much for coming on and taking some time to come on the podcast. Before we outro out, we want to give you a chance to shameless plug your website where people can donate and all of your socials so people can follow you along on your campaign journey. So go ahead, shameless plug.
Yay. So I'm Victoria Broderick. I'm running for Congress in Tennessee District 4. You can find me at Victoria4Tennessee.com or .org. You can go there and see my platform, see where you can register to vote, all the things, and donate to my campaign because you get a handwritten thank you note. So if you want me to know that you came from today, donate $2 to let me know that you watched this podcast and that you're there. I had to look at the date because I couldn't remember. But donate $2, donate $5. I am a grassroots candidate. You can also find me on TikTok. That is my largest platform. I have plenty of stuff there that is voter education, lots of content, lots of clapbacks. Instagram, which I've got some clapbacks going off right now. So if you're feeling froggy, head on over. I'm on Facebook, I have
Oh,
Twitter, I have
God.
Blue Sky, and I also have a Substack, which I have not posted on a while. But if you want to get an idea of where I stand and my writing style, go and check out my Substack and do that. And I'm a working mom, guys. I do this full time while also working full time, having 2 tiny humans, 3 fur babies, and fostering with a local humane society. I want to see Tennessee better represented, and that starts with you showing up for me.
Yes. No
Women can have it
excuses,
all.
guys.
No
Look at how much
excuses.
stuff she's doing and she's still running for office. There's just no excuses to not vote.
It's like
The
it's
least you can
unhinged.
do.
And I'm in the comment section too. So if you want to see me clap back, you want to see what I say, go look at my comment section. I have a lot of fun.
And she's in the comment sections on top of all of it. The comment sections is a full-time job.
I said,
It is a
not
full-time
about children.
job.
Mommy is yelling at people on the internet.
I was watching before we hopped on this. I was watching Good Trouble's video, and I had my kids sitting beside me. And everybody, if you don't know who Good Trouble is, go follow him. He's beautiful. Anyway, my kid goes, "Mama, why is he so muscular and strong?" So I was like, "I'm gonna comment that." My kid wants to know.
Oh, hard questions.
I was like,
Can
he
you
did.
let me know?
He did say after that, he was like, "Mama, can I meet him? Is he your friend?" And I was like, "Well, ironically, I do know him." And I was like, "I won't put that in the comment section because that's just weird. But I might message him and be like, hey, my kid says he wants to meet you because you're strong."
My kid wants to know how you got your trap so big.
Yeah.
He's 5. Like,
Routine.
I don't know. He thinks he's cool. So, like, you're the coolest.
Mm-hmm. See, and yeah.
Send your tricep routine quickly.
Yes. Send it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My kids are pretty funny. Like, my 5-year-old repeats a lot that I say, so I was like, I'm just glad he
I
didn't
bet.
say, like, "fuck fascist" at some point in that, because
Hey,
he's definitely been caught saying that,
the
and he's been
truth.
told he cannot say it at school.
It's
If
all
you're
right. My
gonna say-
6-year-old,
yeah, if you're gonna say the swear words, use them in the right context.
my 6-year-old has some things to say about Trump. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
she's
no,
got
mine
some
corrects my
things.
cussing too. We learned at dinner one night, he said, "What the heck of the world," which is what he says at school. And I said, "Yeah, what the heck of the world?" He goes, "No, Mom, you said what the fuck. I say what the heck of the world." And I was like, the disrespect.
Clear.
5-year-old.
You said.
He said, "To be clear, this is what you say. I say that."
She said,
So,
actually.
no one will humble you like a 5 and a 3-year-old.
Oh yeah.
No
Yeah,
one.
daily. Yeah.
Oh yeah, daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah.
The
The
disrespect.
humbling. The absolute disrespect and humbling on a
Yeah,
daily
I have to tell
basis.
Twice.
I love it.
His
I love
kids,
it.
though,
It's
they're
so
very
much fun.
nice.
Yeah. Me,
I mean,
not
my
so
kids
much.
my kids are great. It's just when they choose violence, they choose it at me.
And there's no off switch.
Sounds like when I'm on a call with Devin.
Literally anytime I pick up the phone to talk to anyone, that's when, all right, we got to crank that volume up. We got to start doing parkour. We got to start fist fighting. We got to bring out all the stops.
Oh yeah.
Is it office parkour or actual parkour?
Oh no, it's just
I
throwing
could hear it through the
themselves off.
phone.
Yeah,
I
just
could
throwing
hear it
themselves
through
off
the
shit.
phone.
Just jumping off the couch.
Yeah, just slamming into the ground.
Yeah.
Full force.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and it's a vibe. Children are a vibe.
It is, because I'm like literally their lawyer. So anytime I'm like, they're fine. They're not doing anything wrong. Actually, I'm their lawyer. So
They're good. They're safe. It's fun.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
But they are very funny. I'll be like, Casey says hi. They're like, hi, Auntie Casey, and then parkour.
Yeah.
Parkour.
Yeah, my
Jump
kid
off the
always
couch.
shows off.
Parkour.
As soon as I'm on the phone, as soon as someone has come in the house, they are instantly showing off, which always makes
like
them
they can't
fun to
see
take
you.
to events.
Gotta show up the parkour every single day.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm like, she can't see you.
yes,
like,
she's on
stop.
the phone. I'm like,
Maybe she
Cool,
can. You don't know.
yeah, you know, I'm their lawyer. You don't know what you don't know what I see.
We have her on retainer.
Yeah, it's the kids will humble you. So, but at least we know that you're going to be BS in the office. You're going to tell it like it is. You're going to say the things that they need you to say about fuck ICE, you know. All of the magic words is what we call them. And going to make it better for your constituents and for the whole country, which should be bare minimum. We should just have representatives that make life a little easier for their constituents and for the country. So let's get on that track, people. All right. make sure you're checking your voter registration, like Victoria said. Midterms are at the end of the year, but before that, there are primaries, and they're happening like right now. Like early
Mhm.
voting starts right now for a lot of districts. So
Mhm.
go check it out. Make sure you're registered. Check every day, even the day you go vote, like Victoria said. And in the
Vote.org.
meantime, check back in every Thursday, new grassroots candidate interview. Even if it's not your candidate, give it a listen because, like Victoria said, they're not only representing their district, but they're writing legislation that will affect you too. So take the hour, listen, and learn more about some policies that are up and coming because,
You don't have to live in their state to donate.
yeah, you
Yeah,
don't have
and you still get a thank you note.
to. She's going to send you a no matter where you live. So
Literally.
you, but I would donate because I want to
People
thank
love it.
you. They love a
People love
handwritten.
it. They're literally like, "Your handwriting is so beautiful." I have people who have sent me pictures, DMs of framing these because they've never gotten a thank you note handwritten to them. And I'm like,
It's
you
they
get multiple ones if you donate, right?" Like, they're like, "I'm just gonna frame them all," and I was like, "Okay, you do you."
So you heard it here. You want to see her beautiful handwriting, you got to go donate. And then you yourself can have a framed, you can frame a thank you card from Victoria herself. And Victoria, again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
We
you.
can't wait to see your campaign journey. And we can't wait to make fan edits of you when you're in the when you're in the chambers saying all the
Oh,
cool stuff. We're gonna just turn into a fan channel.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
it. I love it. C-SPAN's about to be lit.
It is. It's gonna be me making fan edits.
People are gonna be like, "What? Did she just do the Hunger Games the sign?" Yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
On the
did.
floor?
She did. That's what we need. Honestly, all the millennials, we just need to show up, okay? So we got to do our part and vote, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday for another Chat GRC. Bye, everyone.
Bye.